and you're able to articulate that vision to people, people get really, really excited because it's not always about what you're doing, but a lot of times it's about why you're doing it. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the golden circle today. So like I said, people don't always buy what you do. They buy why you do it. So if you think about that, we have 3 circles. So if you have your pen and paper with you, I want you to draw a small circle, then one circle that's bigger than that, and then another circle that's bigger than that, all on top of each other. So you'll have 3 circles, one big, then a little one, and then a smaller one. So on the outer ring, it's what we do. So what do? We sell spray vitamins, which is great. We have amazing spray vitamins. We have that health drink that's taking over the world. We have an amazing weight loss program, THW. So that's what we do. How we do it by recommending products to our family and friends. And it's really, really simple because you try the product, you see results, and even if you weren't getting paid, you would go around and tell people about the results anyway. But you just get lucky because you're getting paid. So that's how we do it. But why we do it? What's our purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? What is your vision? What's your goal? What's your why deep down inside? That's what really motivates people because people love to take up a charge and make it their own and march towards that. And then it has really nothing to do with you. It takes on a life of its own. And that's what happens when we reach that momentum stage, when we all have this really burning why of why we do this. And you heard First Lady talking about it. We're in the business of changing lives. We want to change people's lives. We want to see people get healthier. We want to see people get wealthy. You know, I was reading some statistics, and they said that Social Security is going to run out in 2034. That means that my kids might not even be able to collect Social Security, something in which I'm paying into. I might not even be able to collect Social Security. So what is your why? That's a big why for me, is because I think a lot of people don't realize that we think that some of the Social Security and safety nets that we have today might not be available tomorrow. By the time that we retire, 84% of Americans don't believe that they're going to have enough money to retire. That's a scary statistic. And network marketing, honestly, might be the only way that someone has the opportunity to earn extra money while they can still keep their full-time job and really create that life and that future for their children that they've always wanted. Now, that's my why. Now, if I told you that why, would that make you want to join my cause and say, yeah, that is a scary statistic. What am I going to do? What is my plan B? I don't have one. But you know what? She has a vision over there. She has a goal. She's changing people's lives, and this is why she wants to do it. I can believe in that. And that's really what gets people motivated. And there's a more psychological, scientific, biological purpose for knowing your why, because we have the neocortex. That's the what level. That's the rational level, the responsible level. That's the one that looks at all the specs on a car and says, this is the best car based on all these specifications. But that doesn't necessarily drive buying behavior. So it's interesting because our limbic brains have all the trust, loyalty, decision-making, but it also drives behavior. That's really, really important. And it also doesn't have a capacity for language. So it's more of, how let's say that you go somewhere and you look at something and you look at all the specs and it looks really good, but something just doesn't feel right. And because your limbic brain doesn't have the language like your neocortex does, it doesn't know what it is that's off, but it's just saying it doesn't feel right. And because it doesn't feel right, and that's the part of the brain that controls decision-making, I'm not going to do it just because it doesn't feel right. I'll give you a good example. I don't know if you guys remember TiVo a long time ago. They came out with what we now call DVRs. And it was, kind of popular, but it never took mainstream, and they never really made any money. They never really took it off. And that's because they were telling you what they do. You're allowed to pause live TV. You can record your favorite shows. You can have your shows playing later on. And people just couldn't get behind that. It's too new. I didn't understand. I don't know why I'm supposed to do it. But now you fast forward a few years, and now you have like a regular DVR. But how did they market it to you? They said, would you like to take control of your own life? Don't be bound to the TV for when your shows. Schedule your shows in the future. Pause live TV. Rewind. Fast forward. Now, when you say it that way, taking control of my whole life, getting me and so that I control the things that are around me instead of those things controlling me. I don't have to be at the TV at 8 o'clock if I want to watch my show. I can record it and watch it whenever I want to, and I can fast forward through commercials. I'm all about that. But TiVo didn't make any money because they never really got to the why. They never really penetrated the limbic brain to make people have a cause that they could get behind. Now, contrast that with like Dr. Martin Luther King. How did Dr. Martin Luther King get 250,000 people to show up on the same day with no Facebook, with no internet? They probably did a phone tree, but, how is that? Because there's no answering machines or anything. And that's because he didn't say what needed to change, but he told people what he believed in. And because of that, they picked up his cause and made it their own. He made a I have a dream speech, not a I have a plan speech. He didn't come out there and say, I have 3-point plan on how we're going to get this country back together. That's what politicians do. That's why we kind of ignore them, because it just doesn't really feel right. It doesn't feel authentic. We don't see what they really believe, what they truly believe. But when Martin Luther King came out there and said, I have a dream, the little white boys, the little black boys will all be in the same class together. That's something that we could all look at and say, you know what? I believe that too. And when we believe that too, it's easy to follow them. It doesn't even have anything to do about Martin Luther King, because now it's about the cause, it's about the dream. And now circling back to our sprays, what is your vision? What is your dream? When you're out there and you're presenting this information to people, are you telling people what you do? We have sprays and how we do it. We recommend products. Because if you're doing it like that, it's probably not inspiring that many people to get out of their bed and to get on a call at, for me, 8 o'clock in the morning, because it doesn't tell me why I need to do that. But if you share with people, like I like to share with people, some of the scary statistics that are out there, it's not meant to scare anybody. It was meant to make people aware. Because some people are working their job for 40 years and they think that someday something's going to magically happen for them. And it probably won't, not in the way that they're looking for it. But now you come along with something that really is almost kind of magical, where you can use sprays that change people's lives, that get your health, give you the energy and the vitality that you need, help you to lose weight. And there's a compensation plan that'll pay you out for the next 50, 60, 100 years. Now people are starting to get really, really excited about what you're talking about, because you're talking about the why you're doing it. Because I want to change people's lives, because I want to see people get healthy, because, 100 million Americans are vitamin D deficient. I bet you if you tell people that, a lot of people don't know. And that's the stuff that causes the limbic brain to go out there and to move and to tell people to make these kinds of decisions. So what I got to ask you today is, what's your why? What's your purpose? What's your cause? What are you leading people for? What's your mantra that everybody is marching to? What is it that you're trying to do in the next 90 days for your business? And it can't just be about the money. It can't just be about the profit, because then that's just about you, and that doesn't drive anybody to make any new decisions about it. But if it's about something that's purposeful, something that's lasting, something that goes beyond you, that's where you build a team, and that's where you gather that momentum, and that's where you start to really see your business grow. Because, there's going to be people who are going to buy the sprays because they just get it. They understand that these sprays, they work. You tell me it has this ingredient, I spray it in my mouth, I see results. Okay, I get it. But when we're trying to get the majority of people, there has to be a movement. There has to be a shift. There has to be something that gets people out of bed, gets people excited, gets people motivated to want to come and join this cause. So I really encourage everyone to really think about what your cause is. And here's what I didn't know I was going to be able to have so much time, Pastor Dale, so I didn't have a super long training, because usually I get about 20 minutes. But here's some things that I really want you guys to take away. If you talk about what you believe in, you're going to attract people who believe what you believe. Isn't that really exciting? Because what we've been talking about is what's in the sprays, how they're totally natural, and they have this, and the opportunity, compensation plan, binary, dual core, double binary, fade on front end, fade on back end. But that doesn't necessarily tell people what you believe in. But what is it that you believe in about this business? Do you really believe in changing lives? Because if you do, describe what that means to people. What does changing lives mean to people? Some people's lives can be changed with an additional $500. Some people's lives can be changed by just introducing the trim and the slim into their life. But what is your vision for changing people's lives? Because if you talk about what you believe in, you're going to attract people who believe what you believe. And the goal is to sponsor people who believe what you believe, because if we're all driven by the same cause, it's like Martin Luther King. The things that he spoke on that day, the things that he believed in, have transcended him for years and years and years, because it wasn't necessarily about just him. It was about his vision for the future, for the country, for what we could do, for what the possibilities could be. That's exciting. That's something that moves us beyond just selling one spray to this person, one spray to that person. That moves us into a shift. That moves us into changing the whole entire world in the way that they consume vitamins. I mean, look at how big that is when you just think of it, not just I'm selling to this individual and that individual, but we change the way that the market approaches vitamin technology. Those are huge visions for people to have, but those are things that people can get behind. Because every time I tell people, I couldn't stand taking pills. They get stuck in my throat. I don't know if it's psychological, but I feel like they're there. A lot of people can get behind that because they don't like taking pills. Imagine if we could get that movement going all across the world. It's about you talking about what you believe in And so that you're attracting people who believe what you believe, and now you guys are going on and changing the world. That's really, really exciting. And so, like I said, people don't follow those who lead, not just for themselves, but we pick up and champion the causes that they believe in. That's where duplication comes in. You know, it's one thing for me to tell you my story, and maybe for the person that I sponsor to tell you my story. But as it starts to go down the line, it loses its potency a little bit. But if you really have a cause that everybody can champion, that's not just about you, not just about me, not just about Pastor Denise, but is about the cause that we're all believing in, the Changing Lives movement, that's something can duplicate. That's something that can transcend levels and levels and levels and levels deep in your organization, because everybody has the same belief and everybody's marching to the same drum. That's why Mel's always telling us, don't just sponsor anybody, sponsor the right people. Sponsor the people who believe in the vision, who believe in the goal of what we're trying to do here. And that's not going to be everybody. And what does that mean? That means that you're going to hear some no's. And that's a little unfortunate. But I'm telling you now so you can prepare yourself. But if you get the people, let's say that you talk to 10 people and only one of those people believes in what you believe in, then that means that you only need to talk to 20 people so you can get your two left and the right. It's a mathematical business, people. So we just have to get out there, get our cause in front of you, and let people know that what you do serves as proof in what you believe in. And so if you really believe in this Changing Lives movement, how many lives are you really trying to change? How many people have you talked to about your business to change their life today? How many people have you said, you know what, it is something that I believe in, that we have to talk to people about better health? Because, you know, a lot of people think that, you know, tomorrow is a new day and I'll start my diet next Monday. No, today needs to be your Monday. It has to start today. Obesity is rising to be a leading cause of death. I'm sure Dr. Anita Poole could tell us statistic over statistic over statistic about all the communicable diseases that come from obesity. We have a charge, ladies and gentlemen. All you got to do is find your cause, get out there and talk about it to people so that you can share it and you can share that vision with everybody, because they are wanting to pick it up. Their Olympic brains are looking for that. They want to make a difference in their world. They want to change their lives. But are we talking about the right thing? So I really hope that this has blessed you guys into really thinking about how you're marketing your business. Because if you're only talking about the sprays and what they are and how we're different from the competition, you're missing that need that every individual has, is to know why you're doing it. Why should I care? Why does this matter? Why are you different from every other network marketing company out there that promises me good health and riches? Why are we different? We are different for so many different reasons. You know, one, we have a dual core double binary. But that's not the most important thing. And I think the most important thing is something that I always hear Mel says. We're in the business of changing lives, and we have an obligation to go out there and to share that with everyone else. So everyone, maybe yours is a little bit different from changing lives. Maybe yours is good health. Maybe you're on the vitamin D track and you want everybody to know about vitamin D, because nobody ever told me about vitamin D. Let me just say that as a side comment. Not a doctor, not anybody ever told me about vitamin D until I got into this business. And one thing I have to just share a quick testimony is, on Saturday, my daughter was feeling really, really sick. She wasn't feeling well at all. And, you know, she was at her grandmother's house, and her grandmother was saying, oh, you know, let me give you some medicine. So she said, no, I'll wait till my mom comes home so I can get my vitamin D. Because she knows now, after so many trials and tribulations, that we spray a little bit more vitamin D in your mouth, and now you're feeling better. So when she's out there talking to her friends about, you know, sprays and all that, about, you know, being sick this weekend, she'll tell them, oh, I just take my vitamin D. I don't know where that came from. I just wanted to tell that story because I thought it was really interesting. It was really exciting to see my daughter pick up a cause that I'm really passionate about, is using vitamin D instead of using medications, because it helps to take her fever down. Today, by Sunday, she was perfectly good. She was outside playing. We went and ran errands. So, you know, I'm really excited about that. And it was really exciting to see her pick up that cause and tell her friends about it too. So I guess that's why I told you the story. Anyways, the goal of this is I want everyone to know is that if you talk about what you believe in, you're going to attract people that believe in the same thing that you believe in. And if you're trying to change people's buying decisions, it's not just good enough to talk about the what you do, which is spray vitamins, and how we do it by recommending products. So that's what everybody does. What's really going to differentiate us is really talking about why we do this. And if you're sitting here thinking and saying, well, I only want to do this about the money, just keep asking yourself why, until you can get to the root cause of it. And I just want to say something else. This will be a really good example. I was talking to the mayor of Marietta, and, you know, he was talking about, you know, a new speech that he was working on, and he was like, you know, I really just want to tell people about the American dream. And I asked him, I said, what does the American dream mean to you? And he says, it means that everybody has a seat at the table. It means everybody has a chance to make a difference. And I said, no. I said, what does it mean to you? And then he stopped and he reflected and he said, you know what? To me, it really means security. It means being able to live in a place where I don't have to be afraid to go outside, where my children don't have to be afraid to play outside. And I said, that's it. I said, now I can get right behind whatever you're talking about, because now you've touched me. Because maybe my experience isn't the same as your experience, and maybe I didn't grow up in a neighborhood where I was scared to go outside, but I do know what it's like to be scared. And I do know what it's like to, want to feel safe and want to feel secure. I can get behind that. So now it has nothing to do about him. I'm going to listen to his politics and the things that he's saying, because now he's reaching me. He's touching my heart. He's giving me something that I can champion behind that's bigger and greater than what he is. So I hope that's a really good example of how we can change our marketing message to really get to people where they say, yes, I understand. I want to be a part of that too, because that's what we're really trying to do, is to get people to understand and be a part of it. But are we giving them the right message? So I hope that this has really helped somebody to really maybe reframe just the way that you're thinking about your marketing message and how you're trying to reach people, because we want to get into that. We don't want to just be in the rational brain, because that doesn't control decision making. We need to get into that brain that really feels us, that limbic brain. And that's where the trust, the loyalty, and the decision making and drives all the behavior is. And a lot of that has to do with the why. That's where the limbic brain gets all excited, is the why, so that it's beyond just you and now becomes about them, and they can pick up the cause and join your team. Okay, Pastor Dale, I hope that you enjoyed it too. Back to you.
Wow. Great job, Nikisha. I'm telling you, that's an amazing pump, exciting pump of adrenaline in our blood today. Is to find out what people believe. Get their why. That's so important. We teach this, and I know you taught this on a couple of trainings before about the motivation for people to change. Why would they change? And one of the reasons was people change because of intolerable pain. They can't stand their life anymore. They can't stand the pain of that life anymore, and they change as a result of it. You see people all the time with this weight problem. They have weight problem, and the doctors tell them to get off this, and then, they start having these chronic illnesses and diseases until the point that they finally say, you know what, I don't want this no more. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of doing this, and they do something about it. They start losing weight. They start exercising. They start eating better. They start feeling better. They change because they got the intolerable pain made them change. Well, you know what, folks? We don't need intolerable pain to make us change. We need the other thing. We need vision. We need belief. We need to believe that change is for us and we can do it just because we believe. Get your why back out, dust it off, look at it again, and say, this is why I got in this business. This is why I'm going to do this business. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to get my freedom back. Thank you so much, Coach Nikisha Bond. So excited to have you on the. We're going to go over to the pond. Go over to the big pond. Dr. Anita Poole, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here, Dale. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Take it away with our coach.
Wow, Nikisha, you start us off so well on a Monday. And yeah, absolutely. You asked about, obesity and what it can cause. Yeah, obesity is related to inflammation, high blood pressure, diabetes, many inflammatory disorders. You're more likely to even get sinusitis, hay fever. I mean, things that people don't even realize. You're more likely to get practically every single disorder there is if you are overweight. And you can be overweight on the inside around your organs, and you can be overweight on the outside. So, it's incredibly important to get the weight down. And what do we have? Slim by 10, trim by 10. And we have things that are helping, natural things that are helping with people's inflammatory disorders. We don't claim to treat, cure, or prevent any disorders, but for example, it's been shown scientifically that vitamin D3 is associated with inflammatory disorders. And indeed, obesity is associated with an inflammatory disorder and other inflammatory disorders. So people need our D-Power, which has vitamin D3, great absorption rate in a spray. They need our B vitamins in the B Boost. They need our Super 10 and our Cell Energy, which has very high anti-inflammatory antioxidants. Antioxidants that mop up the free radicals in the body, and therefore inflammation causes free radicals. If you've got a good level of antioxidants in your body, you're going to be more likely to mop up the free radicals. So people, I read in the newspapers, men and women, it's not just women, men and women are spending thousands a year on grooming products, beauty products, skin products, nutritional products, feel better products, look better products. Well, what? I mean, my goodness, and they don't even know about the TEN oral sprays and the Trim by 10 nutritional drink. Once they know about that, my goodness me, they really need to be taking our nutritional, natural supplements that have a much, much better way of absorbing, basically. So, it's all about getting to the right people. And yeah, it's exactly as Nikisha put it, it's getting to the people who go beyond themselves, and us going beyond ourselves. It's not just our why, it's in terms of money, it's our why to change people's lives, both with the opportunity and these incredible, incredible products. So it's part of a much, 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 much bigger vision. If you're into just money, you're not into something that has true value. If you're into products that have real value, then you've got something great in your hands, because a product that can change people's lives, both with an opportunity pay plan that is valid, with a proven company that's been going for, 10 years, my goodness me, that is incredible. So you've got something huge in your hands, and we can change people's lives across the world. But it's all about literally thinking with your rational brain, but getting to the heart of people, because people make decisions with what they feel. It's not only, what they hear and what they work out rationally, like Nikisha was saying with their rational brain. It's how you make them feel. Literally, they say, Adlai Stevenson actually said, it's hard to lead a cavalry charge if you think, and I'm just saying cavalry charge because we are out to conquer the world with the TEN sprays, basically, so you can look at it as a cavalry charge. It's hard to lead a cavalry charge if you think you look funny on a horse. What he's really saying there is you've got to believe you can do it. Then you've got to have the posture to show that you can do it, and then people see that and they feel it in their heart. Their heart is what makes the buying process. They think with their head, but they buy with their heart. Eleanor Roosevelt said, to handle yourself, use your head. To handle others, use your heart. So literally, it's about getting your passion across from your heart to other people. It's them feeling your passion. Steve Jobs said, you have to be burning with an idea or a problem that you can solve or a wrong that you want to put right. If you're not passionate enough from the start, you'll never stick out. And you want to stick out, basically, with these TEN sprays and the Trim by 10 drink. You want to really conquer the world with this, basically. But you've got to be really passionate. You've got to really believe. And you've got to look nowhere else. Nothing else. No leader that I know. No big, inspiring person in the world who's achieved great things in the world has done it by constantly thinking about what other people are doing, constantly being distracted by everything else around him or her. They have done it by being laser focused. And that is literally the words that Mel uses. It's laser focused, he talks about. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who I've quoted in the past, he talks about you've got to have your vision right in front of you. You've got to see it all of the time. Literally, when you wake up, when you're moving, when you're working, you've got to see that vision right in front of you. That's all you've got to focus on, and then taking the actions that actually do that. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, our chief want is someone who will inspire us to be what we know we could be. People want to be something. They want to be healthy. They want to be wealthy. So, literally, you need to go out there and inspire them that they can be what they want to be. Woodrow Wilson said, you're not here merely to make a living. You're here in order to enable the world to live better, to have greater vision, to live with a finer spirit of hope and achievement. You're here to enrich the world, and you impoverish yourself if you forget that errand. That's what we can do with the TEN sprays. We're here to enrich the world. I don't know of many other opportunities that have something that you can truly, truly, truly enrich the world with, something natural that's so easy to take, great absorption rate, got the kind of quality testimonials that we have, you know, including top judges, top doctors. You know, these are people who understand logically pay plans, they understand logically the science behind these ingredients, and they have gone for 10, and they're building greatly and sharing greatly. So that's what we need to do, folks. So go out there and get it done. But back to you, Dale.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach Dr. Anita Poole. We appreciate all that you do for us on these calls. Thank you so much for giving us that bit of great information. I love it. I love it. I love it. Don't look funny on that horse if you're leading the charge. I exactly love that. Oh, that's amazing, amazing. Well, be back with us tomorrow on the Team Effort Lifestyle Call with Coach and 1-star, 2-car Vicky Soto. Looking forward to having her tomorrow. You guys get off this phone, go and do something special. Share this story, share these products. It's going to be a great day. This call is officially over. Know that you are loved and you are greatly appreciated.